Suzu!
Suzu!
Suzu! 声を届いて。
Hey, what's going on out there? YouTube family, this is Sammy Leggett here representing TeamJVS. I am back here again for a review for probably one of my most anticipated animated film reviews and most anticipated animated films in general of this year. I am a very big fan of this director. I have literally all of his movies, which I'll show you really quickly. I'm talking about Mamoru Hosoda. I've got every single one of his films. And I just gotta kind of show you guys this really awesome little box set, which I don't want to, chase too much. But The Girl That Leapt Through Time, Summer Wars, of course, Wolf Children, The Boy and the Beast. And the last one that came out, this was Oscar-nominated animated in Minari. I'm a huge fan. I don't know any other way to kind of put it. And I was anticipating this being his possible magnum opus. Like, I was like, if he's tackling this the way that I think he is. And I don't own Digimon, but I love the Digimon movie. He did direct that as well. But what did I think about Belle? Before I even get into all that, I'm gonna give you guys a brief synopsis. Chizu is a shy high school student living in the rural village. For years, she enters a massive virtual world where she escapes into her online persona as Belle, a globally beloved singer. I adored this film. Now, granted, I'll say this. When the movie does release on an English dub, I'm very curious how and who they cast for the acting, the voice acting, as much as the singing, because singing is very vital to this. Like, the score and the singing, so I watched this, in Japanese, like it was English sub. I'm curious to see, and I know him as a director, he doesn't have to do stuff. He's gonna get somebody possibly that not only can voice act very well, but it can also sing, because there's gonna have to be an English transition to the songs. The songs are amazing. Oh my gosh. This was a spectacle of an animated film. Visually, every time you go into much like Summer Wars, very reminiscent, a lot of what Summer Wars from a foundational standpoint was in that universe. In and of itself, it transforms into a literal virtual environment. Like, it's 3D architecture. Every single character looks framed in 3D orientation. And then when you go to the real world, it's the normal, natural 2D, amazingly stylized, amazingly detailed animation that, we're commonly used to loving from somebody like a Miyazaki, so to speak. But Mamoru Hosoda in this one, he really puts his foot in it, because emotionally, I didn't know where this story was really going. Because the very opening of it kind of showed this young girl, and she, seemed like she was, just in and just singing. Everybody was rallying behind her, But then she comes out of it, and she's like a normal girl that has all these other issues. And the emotional, mental progression of the character Suzu, and where you start to understand and unpack why she is the way she is, what is her tragic past, how is it connected to why she sings in but not in the real world, is so pivotal to the core and the essence behind why this movie is so important. Because a lot of people are battling a lot of the things that are happening in this film, whether it is from a family tragedy that puts them in a certain mental state or condition that they're outside of their control, or whether it is they're trying to live vicariously through another identity because the identity that they perceive everybody to know is so unthinkable that it makes them sick. Or, you're not able to connect with people because you perceive yourself to be something that you really on the framework are not. Or the even more interesting thing is that a character's inner core comes out in a way that their avatar, I don't want to spoil too much, their avatar kind of comes out. So versus like Suzu, in the real world, she's this, recluse, certain kind of thing. But when she goes into she's this beautiful and she's an amazing singer, but how much of that is really actually her that could be, you know? And I think that that's the things that they play with in this film, to the point where you get introduced into the Beast side of this, which this does take luxuries of a certain amazing magical Disney tale that a lot of you guys do love, but do not think that it is that, okay? It takes luxuries from it, but it's not that. It goes a lot deeper than that. And matter of fact, romance is not the essence behind this movie necessarily. It's more so about the devotion and the willingness and the loyalty of love, and what that actually really can do, what that can really push and motivate a person to do, a way that it can actually change. Because all these different films, whether it's Minari with trying to be a better brother, a better sibling, whether it's like Leapt Through Time with time that you have, with the people that you have, or whether it's like Summer Wars, where it's like a devotion to family and what family can really do when they really rally behind each other. All these films have a certain theme to them, and this one is no different. I just don't want to reveal what that theme really is, because when you really get the understanding of where it's going, by the end of it, you're either going to be one, very terrified, or you're going to be just on the edge of your seat, because you're like, what is really happening? Again, the animation is marvelous. The voice acting is amazing. I don't know how they're going to, I wish I had a dub and an English, because I want to be able to say that the English dub is going to be equally as good as what they did with the sub, the Japanese translation. But I don't know, like, it's just so good. And that's why I feel so conflicted. The movie is a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna say that already. The movie itself is a 10 out of 10. As an animated film, this is one of the best animated films I've seen this year. As an animated show I've seen this year, you would say Invincible. No, Arcane, even 33 episodes in, is right now my favorite animated feature show right now. But as far as animated film, this is, wow. You're not gonna see anything like this. And what it'll do, if you have never heard of Mamoru Hosoda, it is gonna make you be like, oh, you know what? Let me go and check out this dude's rap sheet, because maybe I need to go and see what he's talking about. And I think that if you stick into it, because it's subbed and because it's like there's no English whatsoever in this one, even in the songs, it may take you out of it if you're not used to that traditional style of, you know, Japanese animation. But the beauty behind it, if you're willing to really read the words and read the lyrics, I think you're going to have an immersive experience that you will never forget personally. And I think that in an emotional resonance side of it, you're going to be like, wow, this was beautiful, you know. And I think there's so much more I want to say, but I can't, because there are other characters in this that I want to mention. And I feel as though if I mention these other characters, it'll do a disservice to your immersive experience. All I will say is that she does have family that aren't conventional family. She does have a best friend. She does have a loyal older best friend. She has people that look up to her without her knowing. And there's also a mystery that is at the center of this, that if you really truly pay attention to, it'll frame your experience even bigger in the wider scope. All I'm gonna say is this was an excellent film. You gotta go watch Belle when it becomes available to you. I believe it's gonna be released in the States on January the 14th, 2022. Hopefully they do have a dubbed English translation during that time. Either way, I'll talk to you guys later. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Go see Belle, please. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Music's so good.